Hey,
Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, everyone across the country. It's the Pan Canadian Advent Calendar reveal number
five.
five.
So we have been opening a different Canadian wine each night now. This is our fifth night. We're going all the way till Christmas Day this year.
All the way to the
Different
25th.
Canadian wine every day. And guess what? Winemakers and winery owners from that winery that we reveal are going to join us. And today's extra special. See, I'm upstairs with my beret because, sorry, Daryl, I couldn't find my freaking Santa hat. Where's your Santa hat?
Somewhere downstairs. I don't know. I just came up from the car. So, yeah.
It wasn't that cold out here in the Okanagan that you needed a Santa hat, but so I found my beret from France. But anyway, we are going to reveal this bottle quite quickly today because someone from this winery is actually here on site, which is so exciting because normally that doesn't happen. So you're going to get, really confused today because you're going to see Mira's usual spot with the Christmas tree in behind, but someone else at that spot. And we'll bring them in just a second.
That's good, yeah. And reveal number five. So let's recap because that's what we've been doing every day. Let's recap. We started, I don't know, 5 days ago with a traditional method sparkling from Okanagan Falls, Noble Ridge. The Grand Reserve de One was our first reveal. We followed with the Beamsville Bench, the Sacred Series from the Organized Crime Cabernet Franc was our reveal number two. Back to the Okanagan for wine number five of three. Three down south in Oliver with Riverstone Malbec. Yesterday, we went to Niagara on the Lake with Stratus 2007 white blend.
18-year-old white. So whoever doesn't think Canadian wines can
age bar rethink your position because it darn can age. By the way, I took that wine to Richard De Silva this afternoon. Richard thought it was a 2017. So there you go.
It's a great one to blind taste people on.
Absolutely. I mean, unbelievable. It was so much fun to taste that with Dean Stoica yesterday, the winemaker at Stratus. So awesome. And today we're going to go wine number five. And now it's time for an extra hint.
Yeah, because we're about to reveal it anyways. So what's
Okanagan? This wine was one of Mira's favorite, first love, true Okanagan love. That was when Mira said, you know what? I freaking love Okanagan wines. That was the one. So now I think if I say that, people will say, okay.
We know which one. And so Mike, the average wine enthusiast, I don't know if he's on, but he posted earlier that he took you up on your pairing suggestion for this wine. See, it's wrapped up. So that's one of the issues. You got to know what temperature. So we said cellar temperature is fine. So now there you already know it's probably not a white. It's probably not a bubbly. And then he said pair it with steak bites with some sea salt and pepper.
Black cracked pepper. And the pepper was really one critical component of my suggestion because that grape varietals love spice. So
and it is kind of spicy itself, especially on the finish, isn't it?
It sure is.
Especially from the South Okanagan. Oh gosh, another hint. Okay, so you have lots of hints. Dana and Scott in Edmonton there tried the pairing suggestion with the steak bites as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Mike said it went well. But he said this is one of those wineries that has the winery name marking on the lid. So when he went to pour it with dinner, he knew what winery it was. And because he knew that we said it's one of my favorite wines, he knew exactly which wine. But he might not know the vintage.
That's it, right? That's the thing. That's the thing. And we have a little surprise as well, a little extra tonight, and then a little extra offer as well.
Yes.
So
this wine, not this vintage of this wine, this is a new vintage, but the same wine we've been tasting for 4 vintages now. We love it every year
since 2019. So yeah.
And so we looked at some of our past notes, and Carl was like, "Oh, this wine is going to be so nice in 2 or 3 years." Well, guess what? We pulled that wine from the cellar, and we've got that one open too. So we've got the vintage that some of you guys have, which is the brand new baby, and we've got a back vintage. So should we unwrap it?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, enough dicking around. Let's go.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Yeah,
Let's
I mean, you
go.
guys can put your last ditch comments there for. We're doing prize draws, by the way, for all those that leave comments.
So we're gonna have a beret for a draw tonight and a baguette.
A baguette. So there we have it. South Okanagan Maverick Estate. And it's a little blurry for some of the screen here, but the Bushvine Syrah.
Yes, Bushvine Syrah from the South Okanagan. This is Golden Miles, baby. This is the bold and rich and beautiful Syrah from the South Okanagan, which has been Mira's favorite since the very beginning that we've started. This is the new release, brand new, just put on the market a few weeks ago, I believe. So brand new.
Even. And it's 2023. And there's something kind of sad about this, which is that in 2024 there was a big deep freeze. 2023, I think, was a small vintage. A lot of the grapes did get a little bit affected by some freezing. And then in 2024 there was a deep freeze.
So here is the sequence here.
Yeah.
Late 2023, because we had a really late harvest in 2022. Very, very late harvest, and boom. And a lot of rain late, and after that, boom, a frost happened in late 2022, which impacted the 2023 vintage dramatically in that spot of the Golden Mile. So very, very, very tiny vintage out of the 23. And as we all know, 2024 happened and shit hit the fan. No grapes from anywhere in the South Okanagan. So
it was
no
minus 26
six.
for 56 hours. So vines can't really survive that long at that cold. But this is really cool. So what we're saying is that this 2023 small production and the last one, I think, for a while of this particular vineyard. And we have someone from the winery that's gonna
Absolutely tell us all about
But
that.
get this. So Daryl saw the vintage, jumped in his darties, went back in time and opened the 19 instead, and it is stunning. The 19, I think you gave like 94 points.
Yeah.
Like it was,
Yeah. And okay, so Daryl, you have the 19, and we have
what 2020?
we have the 2020 open. So we have side by side 2020. So I mean, this 23, I mean, yes, it is an absolute baby. I projected this wine, that 2023, that's going to my top 10 wine of the year. I gave it a potential 94 plus points. I'm sitting at around 93 right now, but this has so much potential, and I'll tell you why. Because when I opened it, maybe like a month ago, I worked on that wine for 5 days. And holy shit, the progression of that wine after 2-3 days was absolutely mind-boggling. The nose of that wine is so pure, so clean, so amazingly Syrah that I fell in love with the nose right out of the gate. It put me in the mood where I loved that wine right out of the gate so much, and I knew behind that little tight baby there was something gracious and with a tremendous potential. So yeah, with my forecast, with my projection, that goes on my top 10 wine of the year, 94 plus. So I am so freaking thrilled to bring on. I mean, you're so pretty. You're so pretty with your beret and your little red scarf.
It even says Carl on the scarf, but with a K.
There you go. There you go.
But anyway, yeah, we have Janik from Maverick Estate right in the green room. So let's bring him on. Janik.
I'm here.
Look at that.
That's
I'm
the
in
new
Mira's
Mira.
spot.
That's the new Mira.
Yeah,
He's sitting in
I'm
my
in
spot
Mira's
just
spot. This is so fun.
downstairs.
Yeah.
Yay.
Sorry, we kept you waiting for a while. We were in a
No, your hospitality bar none. I've been snacking on chips. There's been wine. I've got water. I'm set.
Yay!
There you go. So everyone, Carl's Wine Club members, there's Janik here. Janik,
I'm
the
gonna
girl.
reappear in the comments because the screen got smaller. So
Thank you.
I feel safe when she's close like that.
Aw.
So there you go. Now, Janik, welcome to the show. I'm so glad to have you right here downstairs. We had a chance. Okay, by the way, before we start, okay, you're the general manager at Maverick Estate. You have a long track record in the with the Okanagan wine industry. You are a wealth of knowledge. You're teaching at the college. You know a lot about food and wines. Before the show, I gave you a little sip of a beautiful golden juice. Tell me what you think of the 2007 Stratus White.
One, I didn't think it was that old because I told you I think this is like an Okanagan wine from like 6 years ago that's been oaked really beautifully. Super crunchy, lots of brightness to it, lots of fruit, no oxidation, which was very surprising considering the age and the varietal blend in there as well. Yeah, when you showed me the vintage, I didn't believe you. I was like, no, absolutely not. So it's
Yeah,
phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I
So if
know,
you got
right?
that in your
Richard De Silva told
calendar,
me to fuck off this afternoon. He said, "You're shitting me. You're not. Get out of
I didn't
here."
tell you that to your face.
No. You have, yeah. You're you're a classy man. I know you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Uh,
So, Janik, welcome. And now let's talk Syrah, okay? So that was our 2007. And hey, I said all along, I said that 2007 will be the centerpiece of that Advent calendar. I was so excited to share that with members across the country. It was awesome. So yeah, there you go. So now let's talk Golden Miles. Let's talk South Okanagan, and let's start with Maverick Estate. You guys were our winery of the year this year. Uh, we had an incredible vertical tasting with some members with you in September. We've been partnering up since Carl's Wine Club started. So we have like a really long, beautiful relationship with the estate. So let's talk about when Maverick started and what is the core of the portfolio at Maverick Estate?
for sure. So Maverick is still young when you consider all things across Canadian wine. We have been around since 2008. Vineyards was planted in 2009 and our first vintage in 2011. So that's sort of the first part of the story. We were started by a South African family with a South African winemaker running the charge. His name is Bertus Albertin. Bertus is still part of the Okanagan wine scene, now more in the viticulture side of things as well. So he built this winery from the ground up because he wanted to think outside the box while paying homage to the traditions of winemaking. So that's what it means to be a maverick, is to be a free thinker. And that's sort of what sets up the ideology and the ethos of our winery as well. Small batch, we are a small production facility. So on a good year, we'll probably push to about 7,500 cases. The last couple of years, well, a lot less. But that's okay because it's all about quality for us. It's never about quantity. We'd rather put out less of the best possible wine that we can make versus something that would just not earn our labels. Our wines earn their labels, and we're really, really proud of that as well. And then in 2020, we have new ownership takeover. So Bob and Barb Shaughnessy, if you're not familiar with those names, those are the people that founded Tinhorn Creek 35 years ago, took over the winery as new owners in 2020, along with winemaker Andrew Windsor and CEO Jan Nelson. And they pushed Maverick's production a little bit further forward and expanded the portfolio just a little bit. And then now we're realizing that consumers' tastes are changing and evolving. So we're focusing on sort of bringing things back to its core, to the heart of Maverick, if you will.
Awesome. And in terms of wine production, I'd say when we look at the Rubius, also at the Bush vines, the Chardonnay, the Sauvignon Blanc, but you also have your Bordeaux blend, well, sometimes with some vintage with Syrah in it. So let's talk a little bit about the rock star of the Maverick portfolio, including the Bush vine Syrah.
Yeah, so our portfolio is one that covers every category in sort of consumer preferences. We have a traditional method sparkling wine called Ella. She is a cuvee that is 60% Pinot Noir, 40% Chardonnay, all from estate fruit. And then we move over into our flagship white, which is our Sauvignon Blanc, grown on site. And then we also source locally from local farmers as well that do similar farming practices to us. Chardonnay, we are pushing old school Chardonnay, fully fermented in oak, full malolactic fermentation. So you got lovely bright acidity with all this lovely buttery creaminess to it as well, just to balance it out. One of the most balanced Chardonnays I've tried in a long time, and I do love a good balanced Chardonnay. So it's the style of Chardonnay that I enjoy. And we flip over to our reds. We have a workhorse of a red blend called Rubius. Merlot dominant, pairs well with just about everything. You can open a bottle on a Tuesday night and enjoy it throughout the week.
Beautiful value wine. Like this wine is one of the top value Okanagan red, if I may.
Yeah, value wine that actually brings quality to the table. It's not just value; you're actually buying something that is worthy of your cellar as well. Our big boys, we push into our Cabernets, so our Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon when we have it, Merlots, and then our sort of flagship on the top is our Bordeaux style blend, because we're not Bordeaux, we're the Okanagan, so it's a Bordeaux styled blend. This year's Renegade is a Merlot dominant. Sorry, no, we're not in that anymore. We flipped over now. So we're Cabernet Sauvignon dominant.
So, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm so used to that last vintage. I haven't quite grasped the language yet. But Cabernet Sauvignon dominant blend, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and a little bit of Petit Verdot to drown it out. And then we have this darling that has roots all the way back to Rhone Valley that made me fall in love with Maverick all over again, which is our Bushvine Syrah. So current vintage is 2023, and then we dug deep into our cellar to find some 2020 so that we could talk about it today as well.
We will for sure, and we didn't even announce the surprise for. We'll talk about it a little bit. Just maybe in 5 to 10 minutes. We'll let people like marinate a little bit. Let them work. Let them work for that because Janik have a nice surprise for us in a few minutes time. But let's talk about first before talking about 2023 vintage and harvest. I would like to talk about the Golden Miles and the Golden Mile slope. So the Okanagan is evolving. In term of I was about to say AVA, but in term of sub appellation, Naramata Bench sub appellation, the Golden Mile sub appellation were some of the first one after the generic Okanagan Valley VQA. And I think when we're talking to Canadian wine lovers, the Golden Miles is one of the rare sub-appellations that people know. So that they can really connect South Okanagan full-body wines to Golden Miles. Tell us what makes the Golden Miles special, and also what's the new evolution of the segmentation of our appellation with the Golden Mile slope.
Yeah, so South Okanagan, the Okanagan Valley in itself is its own geographic indication. So we don't use the AVA system here in Canada. So we call it the geographic indication. So the Okanagan Valley is sort of the larger of that, and within that we have the sub geographic indication, which is we commonly call it the sub GI. The first sub-GI ever in British Columbia was Golden Mile Slope. This was 2015, and it was spearheaded by the folks over at Tinhorn Creek, and they decided that their terroir was unique enough to warrant that they could create wines with unique identity within the Okanagan Valley just from being on the Golden Mile Slope, so Golden Mile Bench. The Golden Mile Bench is an area that is on the sort of it's east facing on the west side of the Okanagan Valley. So our valley runs kind of north-south, if you could follow my finger. And so Golden Mile is sort of east facing on the west side of the valley, so that it gets a lot of early morning, mid-afternoon, and early evening sun, but no late evening. We cool off a lot faster than the rest of the valley does, which helps us preserve acidity. It keeps our alcohol numbers in check. We don't we don't see our alcohol percentages soar past 15 often. And we have this lovely sort of cooling current of underground streams and lakes that sort of keep our temperatures in check as well. So it's a really beautiful growing region for having these amazing balanced wines come out of it as well. And as time goes on, we see the evolution of BC wine, and we see sub-appellations or sub-GIs come out of the mix. Vancouver Island shows up. We get Okanagan Falls. And then out comes in 2021 the announcement that the Golden Mile Slope was a new sub-GI. And the Golden Mile Slope runs from, if you're familiar with the valley, just below Fairview Cellars, all the way past the valley, following the highway essentially along the valley floor, past Maverick down by where Gold Hills ends. Very skinny, long strip of land with some unique topography as well. Our valley floor connects directly to the mountainside. There's no benching in between. And it's very evident when you visit Maverick. Maverick was actually used as sort of the case study for building the terroir as well for the Golden Mile Slope. There are identifying water sources, so either underground streams or above ground lakes, and they're particularly kettle lakes, which were formed in the glacial period, where the glacier, when it was receding, left these big chunks of ice that were wedged into the ground. They melted, the soil formed a silt layer and clay layer underneath it, and then we're left with these lakes. Maverick is sandwiched between two. We've got Mira Lake and Deadman Lake right across the highway from us, which again help with our terroir. I think some really unique soil structure as well. Our soils are sort of alluvial, so lake bed soils with some gravel, granite, gneiss, that sort of thing in there as well. So it's a super cool growing region, very small, very skinny, and Maverick's right in the center of it, giving us a lot of this topography as well.
I mean, you just mentioned like the gravelly soil and like the nice blend of underground component. And when we talk about Syrah, I mean, all the way back to the south of the Rhone Valley or the northern Rhone by fact, these big pebbles, right? These rocky soil, well, Syrah absolutely love that rocky soil. So let's talk about the bush vine itself.
Yeah.
What is bush vines? Because a lot of people ask me all the time, like, oh, why it's not just why not Syrah? Why bush vine? What's the meaning of bush vine, Janik?
Yeah, so bush vining is a viticulture technique that is used, originated out of Rhone Valley in the northern region of Rhone, and it's used all over the world as well. It's not just unique to Rhone, but the bush vining system is where it's also known as goblet trained vineyard as well, where the vines are lower to the ground than they are with the standard trellis that you see everywhere here in the Okanagan. So you got these really low plants to the ground. They're about maybe 10 inches at their maximum from root to canopy. And then the vine is trained into sort of an open goblet shape, sort of like this. So there's sort of a central area, and then the canes come off on the sides as well. And we allow our vines to thrive. So we're not going in there and clipping them and training them. We allow them to thrive until they're about, I would say, 6.5 to 7 feet long. And then there's a nice bamboo stake on the ground next to it. And we pull up those vines onto the stake and creates this umbrella shade canopy above where the fruiting area happens, which is in that lower part of the ground. The fruiting area is so low to the ground that it actually keeps it quite cool. We are on extremely, aggressively rocky soil. It's hard soil. The ones in Rhone are quite romantic. They've got lovely round pebbles, and this one is just like, oh my god, it's hard, it's sharp, it's granite, it's aggressive. But it keeps, there's heat that's collected in there, and so it radiates back up to the plant, but also a lot of airflow because the canopy is nice and open. And now there's a shade umbrella above it as well, which slows down how ripening happens on that fruit as well. We don't get as much UV rays through veraison because that canopy is lovely and full. And these Syrah leaves are massive. They're bigger than my face. They're there to shade this plant and provide it with lots of opportunity to develop flavor. So they take in lots of sunshine, they convert it to sugar, and they send it down into the fruit, but the fruit doesn't ripen at the same rate. It's our last harvest of the year. We are low irrigation. We're almost dry farming up there as well, so we can keep these plants under a slight amount of stress. It's, it sounds hard, but it makes the fruit better. We are getting
That's the way to go.
Yeah, no,
that's the way to go.
Exactly. And then last harvest of the year, we're pushing these guys all the way into the end of October, almost into early November. We're just skirting around frost. And then we got birds and we got bears. There's a lot of activity up at that part of our vineyard. It's on the upper bench of our vineyard, up against the mountainside. So it gets lots of early morning sun, but it avoids all of that early evening sun because we're already into shadow. It's the first part of our vineyard to go into shadow. So it keeps things nice and cool. So you get lovely, crunchy acidity coming through on this wine, big, bold, intense flavor. And we pick these fruits late in the season, all done by hand. It's backbreaking work. And then we rush them down to our cellar, get them into our tanks, and start the maceration and fermentation process as well. So
that is an amazing expose here. I love that. Hey, now, Johnny, first and foremost, I have to say, Mira, can you please come here? I have something. You really, really need to do something for me here. I need you to have a sip of the surprise pour. I think you really, really, really need to have. Come on, come here.
This is the back vintage.
This is the back vintage. We've tasted the 23, and I will bring Janik. Janik, I'm going to take you back all the way to 2018, 2019. Sorry about that.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
The explosion of spice.
Daryl has the 19 open.
I know, so that's why we have members who went to dug in their cellar tonight when they saw we're having Maverick. So, Janik, what did you think?
That's fantastic.
Isn't it? Holy shit!
It's better than I remember it. So it's aged well. Like
so, and that was my point
really
in my tasting note. I think I started my tasting note by I can't wait to see what that wine's going to look like in 3 years. And there we go. We're 3 years in now, and that's why we wanted to have a bottle of that. Janik, I would like you to take us back, baby, because I never rated that wine under 92 plus or 93 or 93 points. Every single vintage is one of the very top rated Syrah from the South in my book. Can you give us a little breakdown of the vintages on what typically like 2019, a little cooler vintage? We can expect a little bit more, a little longer aging potential. 2020, what we have was a warmer vintage, correct? So what's your assessment of that on that lineage here up all the way up to 2023 and where 23 stand? That's basically where I want to lead you, where 23 stands versus the 5 or 6 previous vintage of bush vines.
For sure. So 2019 was a cooler vintage, had a higher percentage of acidity in it. It saw a good portion of new oak, and so developed a lot of beautiful tannins in there. Aging potential on that one is long.
Half a century.
I was like, well, what's your patience like? I myself opened to 2016 recently, and it's still beautiful. It's still exciting. It just needed a little bit of aeration just to kind of wake it up because it's been sitting around for so long. So the 2019s, I could see this in my cellar for another 3 to 5 years before I'm willing to sort of part with it. I'm not parting with it. I'm not giving this wine away. I'm opening it for myself, and maybe I'll share it. Maybe if Mira's around, I'll be like, "Hi, Mira, like it's happening." Carl can come too, I guess. 2020 was a vintage to remember. This was perfect growing year, perfect conditions, abrupt stop to the season though. We went to October 31st and we had our first snowfall on Halloween, which was unexpected. And so we had fruit on the vine in 2020. So we're pulling it off as quickly as we can and getting it into the cellar before they started to degrade on the wine as well. So the aging potential on that was exquisite. Like you can push this 10 plus years without any faults on it at all. Like it's just magnificent. It's one of my favorite vintages for the Syrah. It's got this amazing minerality, which stands out for me. There's this lovely salinity with almost like a, I don't know, granite, like wet concrete.
Charcoal-like. To me, it's charcoal-like minerality. Okay. I have it like that maybe that granite or charcoal, that's what we're referring the same. I totally agree. That line of minerality in the 20 is up, and I think it's kind of lift up the peppery as well on the back end.
Very savory wine. So this
fuck, at that point the spice is exploding. Holy smokes.
Syrahs like this, I've been describing Syrahs like this, and if you've been to the winery, I'll always describe it as a very elegant woman. Someone that has a lot of voluptuous qualities to it. There's beautiful full fruit. There's lovely whiff of perfume that runs through it, this like violet flower perfume that comes through, amazing texture, and this sort of like spicy side to her, like a little salty, a little spicy, a little peppery. She'll keep you on your feet all night long without you having to beg for it. She's just going to tell you all about herself. The only thing you have to do is pay attention, because if you don't pay attention, you'll miss all of these little nuances that go through this wine as well. So I love how she's aging. She's just really coming into her own, and she's really, again, still quite salty, because she's just in there to tell you, like, you know, you're not paying attention enough. Listen to me now. Keep going, keep going. So again, I love to age wines like this, because in 2 years from now, you can still see more from her, and she's still going to hold on to that brightness, the acidity, the fruit, that lovely kind of perfume kind of running through it as well. It's one of my absolute favorites. 2021, if we flip one more vintage forward, the Valley had a sort of fire incident, if you will. It's the kindest way to. It was catastrophic for some people.
Fire disaster, yeah.
Yeah, so we had the Incomeep Creek fire. It was directly across the valley from us. Maverick was drenched in smoke and ash for a good 14 days. It was really tough for us to kind of watch this happen, and it's also happening right over Veraison, which delays Veraison because you can't get all that UV radiation through, because we got so much cloud cover and so much smoke cover as well, and all this microparticulate of smoke and ash sitting on the skins of our fruit as well. However, these Syrahs, these bush vine Syrahs, they are really resilient. They're really thick skins on their fruit, so we are able to manipulate our temperatures in our cellar in fermentation, and pay attention to what's happening in there. And we press this fruit in such a way that, and after fermentation, after maceration, that the smoke is a part of the journey now. It's not something that's going to come and taint. This is not smoke taint. This is smoke as part of the story. So you get this lovely sort of smoked meat, like, again, savory kind of note coming through as well. There's this amazing toasty kind of feel to this wine, like you feel warm, like when you're drinking it from 2021. Again, the fruit is beautiful. The perfume now takes on a slightly more masculine, where 2020 was very feminine. This has a bit of a more masculine kind of appeal to it, just on its aroma notes as well.
Minerality, and I think you're bang on. I can remember clearly that it's more on like a dark chocolate, and the tobacco, heavier on the mouth feel as well. Yeah. I think, like, well, we had that the heat dome, which was a weather event that we've never seen before in the Okanagan, not because it was so hot and for so long. It's at that period of the year, like late June, early July. No one knew how to deal with the vines. Do you water them? Do you ever get, like, people? I remember viticulturists and winery owners were calling each other. What are you doing with that? What are you doing for you to? It was completely unknown. So,
we don't see temperatures in the 40s. We don't see temperatures in the 40s in 40 Celsius Fahrenheit in June. Like, that's just unheard of. August, you can maybe push into like 40, 41, 42. But we were outside of this winery. I had a temperature probe out there, and it was 44 degrees. And this was concrete. Like, it's not the actual ambient, but the concrete itself was 44 degrees. It was hot. Like, you couldn't walk barefoot anymore. So this is what the vines are sitting in. So we're wondering, like, are they cooked? Are they done? Vines are so amazingly resilient that they just go into stasis. They're like, it's too hot. I'm not working. Nope, not happening. That's what I do. I'm like, I can't. So they were late. They were late that year. And then we went through smoke. But Veraison's late because these plants are shade covered. So the Syrah sort of had this sort of contingency plan already in it. And then last harvest of the season as well. So again, we managed to go into early November on that one. I think our first snowfall was November 4th in 2021. So we were able to pull them off at beautiful ripeness. So that, again, we had a product that nature was working against us, but the plants were working with us. sort of saying, well, it's fine, we'll just start a little later. And then, okay, like it's Veraison, but we're not quite there yet. So like we're not going to take on a ton of smoke at this point. So not a big deal. We'll catch up in September, because in September we had a nice temperature spike and things started ripening and give us some acceleration there as well. And then, yeah, like I said, last harvest, so we were able to give them the time that they needed for that vintage. So it's a really beautiful vintage with a more masculine take on its flavor profile than the one before it.
And 2022, real classic, late start, but very late finish.
Yeah.
Very balanced vintage, lots of
Yeah.
phenolic ripeness. Like 22 is really classic.
Yeah, very classic vintage, very small vintage, unfortunately, for the Syrah. We sort of opened it up to the public and then it was gone. So that vintage was very brief. I held on to like a bottle or two just for myself. Be like, okay, like these are my babies. But beautiful story on that one. We went sort of back into that feminine Syrah story with that voluptuous mouthfeel and like that beautiful fruit. We've got that violet aromatic coming in through as well. And I'm sure that the minerality is really developing now that it's had a little bit more time in bottle. And hopefully your cellars are doing well. That 2021's ageability, I do shrink it a little bit, like while I go 2020 10 plus years. This one I kind of go 7 to 9, only out of caution for that lingering smoke that could sort of come through. But it also, wines are unknown, and you just don't know how it's going to perform. So with a vintage like that, I hope you have a couple of bottles that you can play with, just so you can see how things are developing in your cellar as well. But then,
yeah, and that's exactly what I put in my tasting note as well. A little less of aging projection, like more on the 7 years. That's exactly what I had.
Yeah.
We're exact same page here. And 22, I think with 22, you're right back up to a tremendous amount of aging potential.
Yeah. 10 to 12, we haven't aged one out yet. So again, all of these younger vintages, and this is one of the joys of BC wine because we're so young, that we're seeing vintages that normally if this was Rhone, we wouldn't be seeing them on the shelf until now. But because we're BC and we're like, we got to get it out there because we're a young and emerging industry, we want to make sure that we get our wines onto people's cellars and their palates early so that we can continue to make wine for the following years until we develop enough of a potential where we can keep going longer. But the joy is that you get to do it yourself. You're an active participant in the aging process of your wines. So you don't have to be so astute and pay attention to it. Just take some home and see what it does, and then take it again and try it one more time and see how it goes. So
lead us to 2023, the new baby, the brand new arrival.
Yeah.
Which would be a special one in the sense that that's the end of the road for a while at Maverick, for to at least 2-3 years.
Yeah, at least a minimum of 2 years. So the 2023 vintage was the last BC grown Syrah that we're going to be having for about 2 years. And I say that because of the winter freeze from 24. 24 was devastating for a lot of wineries. We were lucky, careful, cautious. I don't know what the right word is to say here, but our viticulturist at the time was a really smart man who worked on soil health as well. So we had a lot of potential built into our vineyard for weathering storms. And so when we got through, and like that was a big storm, like that was like 50 something hours at minus 26 where we were. And it was just too much for a lot of plants. So there was going to be some death. And Syrah is one of these plants that just doesn't do winter well. It's beautiful where we grow it, but it doesn't love the fact that we go through winter. And this winter was a winter for the record books. So with a plant like that, we were looking at like how much loss did we, like, are we ever going to see bush vine again is the first question. And we said, we don't know. We don't know until we go into the next year and see how it goes. And so 2023 was the last vintage. It was a smaller run because we were recovering from the year before with sort of, again, with the 22s, we had a kind of darker, like a colder winter. So 23 was a smaller vintage, kind of shrunk things down. So the potential for 23 is that we had a really, so again, pretty sort of young ingenue type Syrah on this one. So she's got a lot of energy in the glass, lots of excitement. Acidity is bright. There's this lovely kind of freshness to her, rather than seeing that sort of elegance. This was one that came to play right at the get-go. Really, really fun to drink in its younger state because it is energetic. I like how it sort of bounces around in your palate. You start off, there's
Light
brightness,
on her
there's
feet,
acidity.
right? It's like a ballerina. Like it's like
It is,
she
yeah.
can move. Oh my god!
Yeah. So, and then the aging potential for this one does go, for me at least, it goes past 10 years as well right now. I want to see this in about a year or two, just so, like, for myself, just to see what the kind of the depth is in this wine. Because right now she's up here and she's bright and she's fresh and she's excited to be a part of the story. But then there's a lot of depth that's still developing in this wine. And this has only been on our shelves since we released this. We actually didn't even do a release this year. This is how coveted our bush wine is. We opened up to a wine club for their summer shipment, just after summer shipment. So they got it available in August, and they start picking it up. I never did a public announcement on this one. I just said it's available, and it was just on the website, and it has just been depleting. And we are near the end of this one. Like we're down to like tens of cases. Might even be like 12 cases left, to be honest. I don't have those numbers in front of me, but this was a wine because of its pedigree was just moving out the door for us. And then, like I said, it's got so much potential that in the next couple of years, that depth, that body, that structure will start to come forward in this wine as well.
So let me bring my assessment right there, because that's exactly what I told Mira. Right now, it's not like I rated it like an open score 93 to 94 plus for a very specific reason. First, and when the nose is so pure, and like I love the aromas of that wine. I have the 2020 much darker right next to it. The aromas of the 23 are so freakingly pure and elegant and beautiful. It's amazing. So that got me in love with that wine right away. Just like you said, in terms of the layering, I know this wine is working she's working on it right now. Like it's not that super layered, but I know it's there. I freaking know it's there. Like my projection, I said I have no choice but giving it like at least a potential of 94 plus. It was so exciting to taste, and I rarely get like that excited. And then like I knew there's so much more to come, and it's just at this baby stage. And yeah, the nose, the lightness, and this really exuberant profile of that wine got me real excited. So that's where I'm at. And now I think this is the time of where we announce the big surprise. It's now there's only 10, 12 cases of the 23. So if people would like to stock up knowing that this wine's going to vastly improve, not that it's bad, just because it is going to be so good. And you came back and you said, Carl, I have 2 cases of the 2020 that only for the live show. We can have 24 bottle where we can give you guys. So
for the live show and the live show only, we had 25 bottles of 2020 Bushvine Syrah left, which was again a phenomenal vintage, one of my favorites from this collection. And like I said, I've got Bushvine going back to 2016 from this winery, and one for Carl for tonight, and then 24 available to the club. So
and that's it.
You guys have first crack at it. We don't even have it on our website. Like, you have to kind of go through Carl, and we'll make it work for you guys. But it's one that I think is one for the ages. This is one for the record books in terms of this wine. The 2020 was sort of not just a highlight. This was the story that we've been telling all along with this wine on what this wine can do. And this is where a love story with Syrah can be told all over again through one glass.
The depth and the complexity of that wine is stunning. Darker side, savory, almost a little bit of pine needle, espresso coffee, that dark, like a little bit of potpourri almost, on the floral side. Classic blue plum, but a little bit more dark plum here
Sure.
on the mid palate as well. That chewy tobacco leaves, and we mentioned that graphite charcoal-like minerality on the finish and the explosion of spice. Oh, the
Yeah.
smokes! That is awesome.
Yeah.
Mira,
It's
I would be
Yeah.
so curious if you have the chance to just take a look at the score that I gave the 2020 originally. I know I've been so like I've been pretty consistent between the 92 plus and the 94 plus with the Bush Vine, but 2020 was one of I think believe my highest scored Bush Vine of all, I
Yeah, I
believe.
do believe anyone who's got the archive of tasting notes would be able to tell us. I don't want to get out of this window because I'll lose you guys again. But yeah, we'll check it after. I think it was at least 93 points for sure. Would you give it higher now that it's aged a few years?
Oh yeah. And this wine is not has not hit its prime yet. I think it's still on the upswing. It's still evolving. It's still in its youth. Definitely, that is a no-brainer. I would say this wine will probably prime in 3 years, where I give that 2 to 3 years top of the curve before going a little bit more onto tertiary and like more of a. But do you agree with my assessment, Janik? Or
I do. I do.
yeah,
For the Yeah, I would say 2 to 3 years to kind of hit its absolute peak. And so the top of the curve thing as well. And again, it's all about your preference as a
that's
consumer.
it exactly.
Like, we can come up with these numbers and you can be like, absolutely not. Like, I want to drink this now. Go for it. Live your best life. It's 2020. What are we? 2025 now? Yeah, live your best life at this point. Like, just go for it. However, if you are wanting to invest into your cellar, this has the potential to go for a couple more years before it starts getting into its peak. And then after that, it's not going to drop off. Wines don't do
No,
that. They don't,
no.
absolutely not. And this is just an evolution in this wine where you get more depth and you get more complexity coming through. But maybe there's some things that will start to take a back seat versus others that start to come forward as well. So you can enjoy that journey. I definitely have been. That 2016 that I took out of my cellar was phenomenal. It was absolutely so special. I have one more bottle left of 2016 for myself, and once it's gone, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, there'll be a gap in my wall that's always been full. I'm like, what do we do with this? So until then, I'm not crossing that bridge right now. That's going to take a couple more years, because I do think a couple more years is what's going to do it for us as well. But until then, we just enjoy our lives and we drink wine that has meaning and purpose. And this is one of those wines for me. This absolutely has meaning in terms of BC wine. It has purpose in terms of telling the story of BC wine and the story of how a small winery with so much potential creates something that has a story that goes all the way back to Rhone Valley for centuries here in the Okanagan, doing it our own way in our own little tiny plot of the world.
I love
Janik.
it.
Yeah, Nick. Wow. I mean, yeah. It's so beautifully said. Mira, what do you think? Where's your
That's
head at?
fantastic. Yeah, I love that, you guys. Oh, you guys already know this is one of my very favorite wines ever. And yeah, such a great story. Thank you so much, Janik. You're so
Oh, my
generous with
pleasure.
your knowledge and your time. And it's been a long day for you, so we're going to let you
Yep,
go.
all good. And
But
just to let you
yeah,
know, club members, please just contact us if you're in town. I love seeing you guys. It's always a good time. We walk around, we go into the cellar. If you've been here before, I know there's a couple of you. I saw Stefan on here earlier. That it's just a good time. So please just come by, say hello. I can't wait to see you.
absolutely.
Janik,
And there's a
you're a
reason
legend.
why members voted you guys Winery of the Year last year.
And we
Dana and
appreciate
Scott
it.
said they were there.
Oop, we lost Mira.
We lost Mira for a second.
Yeah, Mira's frozen with the beret. So we have frozen Mira.
Was
We
there. You
have
guys treated them so.
yeah, frozen Mira with the beret here. So I'm gonna take over.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're back. No, you're back now. You defrosted. You're good. You're good.
I was saying that you guys were Winery of the Year for a reason. Thank you so much, Janik.
Well, we really appreciate all the support that you've given us, and we love supporting you guys and seeing all of the club members come through. It's super special for us. I think this is actually kind of a full circle moment. My very first Carl's Wine Club live was actually sitting right next to Carl, so to kind of be down in the house and to be with you guys was kind of fun. It was a different winery, but that's fine.
Yes, I
Yeah,
remember that. I
Yeah.
remember
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. We sat together. It was 2020, which was 2020. What a year to be alive, right? So to do a live with Carl in person was super fun. So yeah, I love it.
It
I
was
love being here,
very
and thank
rare
you for
back
having
then.
me.
You had your masks on.
Yeah, we're spitting wine off to the side, like
That's
don't
it, right?
spit on each other. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a fun
yeah,
time. Thanks again, Janik. I'm gonna come downstairs and let you out.
my
Carl,
pleasure.
you
Yeah,
better tell us all, more about your thoughts here, and then we're gonna do a spin. And Mike had a good idea. Maybe we have a bottle of the 2020 as one of the door prizes. I don't know. Maybe.
We don't have any. These 2020 are gonna have to go in split in like 3-pack or 6-pack for people who wants it.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
there's only 24 available, and they're gonna be probably gone after like in 45 minutes when
Oh,
Mira
okay,
send the
okay.
secret link.
Well, we got other prizes,
But
so I'll.
but you know what? I can do a 2023 door prize that we can manage. That can be
Okay.
an
Okay,
easier
okay.
sell than the
Well,
2020.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna meet with Janik for a second downstairs. Thank you so much,
But
Janik. We
Mira,
will see you real soon. Yep.
before you leave the screen,
Yep.
Mike, the average wine enthusiast, just put my score up, and it's 93 points. I badly underscore that wine. Either that wine has improved so freaking much that makes me look like an idiot right now, but holy shit. I mean, yeah, this is at least like minimum a point better, and like this one has improved, but this one is so good. And what strikes me, it's the complexity of that wine, and I think yeah, it's hitting full stride right now. So we'll have to revise the score, the 3-year past first taste as yeah, it's a tricky job that I have to do sometimes, tasting the wine pre-released and such an issue. I really have to forecast, and now this wine has aged so gracefully, and I think that's what's going to happen to this one too. But that's why I'm not getting fucked over twice. I'm getting this wine higher. Okay, I'm gonna in 3 years when I contact Maverick and I say, "Hey, I need the 2023," and it's like, "Ah, I knew it. I knew it." So,
yeah. And before
okay,
you get too
Wow.
Mira.
sad,
Well,
Bushvine
thanks
will
again.
return. Bushvine will return. It's just taking a bit of a break while we work through our Washington Grown Fruit next year. So that release will come out. It's a beautiful Syrah, extremely pretty, really feminine. Just it's not Bushvine, but it's a Maverick signature. So don't be afraid of it. We'd love to see you trying it as well. And then we should have our 2025, the following vintage for you to play with. It'll be a later release in the year. It's usually a fall release. Or late summer fall release is when they usually do it. So, or when I've been doing it at least. So fingers crossed that we'll see that one through all the way. And yeah, I'm just excited for you to keep trying our wine and keep talking about Maverick because more people need to know about this. We're little, but little doesn't mean we can't keep up. So.
Yeah, a little bit mighty. Thank you so much, Janik. We'll see you downstairs in just a sec.
Thank you for sure. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Janek. Thank you. Oh man, that is so much fun. So much fun.
Cool.
Mira Boucher.
I'll be right back.
No problem. So here we are. So I have two Syrahs here, the 2020 and the 2023. Like I mentioned, 2023 was a work of projection. Love baby, but the nose is so graceful. I really enjoyed the nose of that wine. And yeah, I mean, seeing the progression of the 2020, I'll be curious, Daryl, how's your 2019? His is playing for you right now tonight. So and did you crack the 23, or you just said nope, this is going in the cellar, I'm not even touching it? So I'm curious to see what was your thought process with that, and how's your 2019 is doing for you, because my 2020 here is absolutely kicking my ass. Just absolutely amazing. I'm so happy that we did that. And I have to thank Mira for the idea, because sometimes she just go back in tasting notes and she's like, oh, did you know that you say that in your tasting notes? I said, I don't know how many tasting notes I write, but no. And she said, well, in 3 years you will be curious to retaste that wine. So obviously now we're 3 years in. She said it would be so awesome to open both, and Janik was right there and he's like, oh my god, okay, we'll save the last two cases we have, and I have the extra bottle. So we made it happen. So really cool to have the 23 versus the 2020, but alongside the 2020, and experience the style of what Mother Nature do, because it's from the same vines, with the same process, with the same everything, but the different vintage. And these wines are quietly different in a sense that 2020 is darker fruit, a little bit more depth, and a little bit more, I would say, old world style. That's where I'm. That's what's coming out here. A little bit more new world, more. I. I mean, that might change over the years with the 2023, but right now, like we've mentioned, what attract me so much when I crack the bottle, the nose is just so pretty and so beautiful, and yeah, 94 plus projection, 93 points at that stage. Really exciting wines with the 2023 Bush Wine from Maverick. So here we are, day 5 of our release. And so here we're having, oh, so that's a nice comment here. I like that. Daryl said 2020 Cross Hermitage ish. I would say Daryl is, oh, here you go. Here's my berry girl. Here you go. Here you go. Yeah, so let's get back to you, Daryl, for a second before I move on. You said that you answered my question. 29, it's stunning, not touching 23, perfect. So you have the 23 set in your cellar. 2019 stunning. I have no doubt about that. I'm happy to hear. And you ask if the 2020 is Cross Hermitage ish. I mean, if I had to bring a comp from from the Rhone Valley, I mean, that's funny because at the price of the bush vines, at 35 or like under $40, there's no comp from the south of the for north, for definitely north, not the Rhone, the northern Rhone, which those wines are out of price now. But yeah, I mean, Cross Hermitage would be a very fair comp, I would say. I just love the depth of that 2020. I mean, that proves me that with a little bit of age, this wine can just gain in complexity, gain in structure, gain into the mid, especially the mid palate. And that's what I mentioned, Mira, when I tasted the 23. I said the 2023 right now is just everything I said earlier. And there's a little something in the mid palate that's kind of missing, go pop, like just popping here and there. But I know with time, this mid palate will fill with amazing fruits and secondary flavors as well, which will be a little bit more into minerality, torrefaction, smokiness, in the sense like that smoked meat will come and fill the whole mid palate of that 2023. So I'm excited for the future for that wine. That is for sure. Mira, welcome back. Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
It's so
That was
nice to
fun.
talk to you. That's fun, man. So
Yeah,
fun.
that was awesome. That was awesome. Hey, I'm going to go through. I think there's a few new people tonight. I'm adding you guys to the door prizes, and then we got to get going because, there's a
I gotta go to
storm
hockey
outside
again. I gotta go to the arena. So today, because I
here.
couldn't
Seriously.
make it, the practice was too early. I have to go pick up and say hi to the kids in the locker room and pick up the kids. But yeah.
There you go. There you go. So, what do we got here? David, I'm adding your name. Dana, I'm adding Scott because I'm assuming he's there. So, if you see a Scott win, that's Dana Scott. Then I have Fidel. Fidel, nice to see you. I know you were on earlier asking if Carl is Quebecois, and that is a very astute observation. He sure is. And then I think I already have Simon. Simon, yes.
Simon
Good.
was on Sunday, so yeah.
Well, he was on tonight. He was talking about what a great visit they had in 2021 with Janik.
Amazing. And I'm curious to know what Simon was thought of the organized crime Cabernet Franc, because Simon is a big fan of Cab Franc. So
Yeah.
so I'm curious if you have cracked your organized crime gold medal, 93 points, Carl's Wine Club, Simon. I'm curious to know your opinion on and your thought on the wine. So
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Is he doing the calendar? I don't know who ordered what. Sorry.
yeah, Simon does. I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we're drawing for, sadly not, because Carl kiboshed the idea around the 2020 Syrah, but what can the winner choose from? An
I
Enovino
mean,
wine
Carbosh.
narrator.
I mean, up to you. I'm not the CEO. I'm not the executive director here. So at the end of the day, if it's what you want to do, you go for it.
Okay. How about this? How about one surprise bottle, and you can request a Syrah, and we'll see what we can do. It'll either be the 23 or the 20. It's the 20 that we have open, right? Yeah. Daryl has the 19.
Oh, I can send. I can keep the other half and send the other half as a
Send half a bottle.
prize.
Or it can be a different bottle too. Like it can be a surprise bottle that is your favorite varietal too. Okay.
Yeah, I
Or
have
you
some good stuff in the cellar, so we can play that
Yes.
game.
Yeah, that can be fun. Or you can get an Enovino, because you can never have enough of those wine aerators. Our favorite wine tool. Instantly decants your wine. Or you can get chocolates. Sandy got chocolates last night, and she's going to use them for research, because she's going to make chocolates one day too. Perfect research subject. David McLean says, Je suis en Québécois aussi. Oh, there you go. All right, well, here we go, guys. Dun, da, da, da. We got who's winning the door prize today? Oh, Jared, you're so close. Kelly! Congratulations, Kelly! I'm gonna have to go back through the comments and find Kelly and let Kelly know that Kelly's won. So, congrats, Kelly! Cheers!
A lot of fun. What a great night, Mira. You had a magic idea to do that. I'm really happy that you had that forefront idea to like pull out the 2020 tasting notes and understanding that I was projecting at that time and bring it back to the table right alongside that little baby boy here, well, baby girl, like Janik like to call them, the Maverick Bushvine Syrah, which is reveal number 5 of our advent calendar. And why, to me, it was so important and so exciting to have Maverick in the lineup, especially the Bushvine. It's because of that gap coming out of Maverick. There's not going to be the Bushvine. We've been tasting that wine since 2019, and now there's none coming up for 24 and 25. So I thought that if we can get our hand on some as fast as possible, as early as possible, and make sure that we can offer a little something to our members in terms of our very favorite, and by the way, best value BC Syrah. For like a QPR, I don't think you can beat that in the Okanagan.
It's $34.95 plus tax. That's very good for a BC Syrah.
I mean,
quality. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to ask Janik how much he wants to do the 2020. I think I'm expecting maybe a $5 to $10 more than the 2023, which is fair. So Janik will confirm. I'll send him a text, and so we can send the secret link right after the live here, if people, because there's only 20. This is not a marketing scam here. Like sometimes it was, oh yeah, we have only a couple cases left, and a couple years later, like, no, this is what's left. There is none like that. This is it for 2020. So
and
24.
That's why, like, we were actually going to include it in the advent calendar, but then we're like, if like a package goes missing or something, or if we sell a few too many, I mean, it was just not enough left. So
Exactly. So for the 2023, that's the time. 12 cases left. That's the time to stock up. No bush wines for the foreseeable future. And the 2020, which is absolutely fucking off the charts. Sorry guys for the swear. It's deserve a swear. It's so good. Then and yeah, 24 bottles available. So we'll work. I'll go pick up the kids at the arena, and I think Mira's gonna put together quickly a secret link for you
A little
guys.
secret link for I'll drop it in the chats with each of you guys. Daryl says he's messaging me, but I haven't gotten my messages all night. Simon likes the more Chinon style Cab Franc. Interesting. That's probably the style that Daryl doesn't like.
Yeah, exactly. The bang on. You are
crazy.
expecting like on the point here.
2020 and 23 6-pack. Yeah, you could totally do that. Yeah, I'll messenger you the link a little later, David.
What we try to do, it's at least like a minimum of 3 of each. Like for these like very small, it makes it so much easier for the wineries that the 1s and the 2s. So that's why we try to structure it that way as much as possible.
Okay,
And
I think the 6-pack is pretty much all gone because Dana, Daryl, and David want one. So okay, it'll have to be first come, first serve. We will keep a close eye.
It is what it
on.
is. First comes, first serve.
Yeah.
When we hit 24, that's it. And yeah.
There we go. It was great to see you guys. Cheers, cheers. Hope you have a fabulous night. Tomorrow, what's going on, Carl? Is it a chilled wine, a not chilled wine? Do you want me to pull up the page?
Oh, tomorrow we have I love my guest tomorrow. Like we go way back, and it's a good friend of mine. And one of my, again, I said that quite often, but I fill my life with great people, especially when I curate a pan-Canadian admin like that. I want feature wonderful people, and that's what it is tomorrow. Put the wine in the fridge. Don't get it too cold because you don't want to freeze the beautiful flavors and aromas. But yeah, so we'll have a white wine tomorrow night. I'm not telling you from where. I'm not telling. I get like this is from my anyway. Yes. I need to be careful. I want to keep it as a surprise because tomorrow it's Friday night. I promise you, you guys gonna have a good time chatting with our guest, which is gonna be live as well. So yeah, here we are.
So yeah, good evening. Now I don't want to ruin anyone's Christmas present, but one of you guys, so I won't say who, one of you guys ordered the last advent calendar that there was. And then Carl went around, counted all the bottles again. I was like, no, we have 2 more, right?
Yeah, 2 more.
So we can do 2 complete ones still.
2 complete one, exactly.
We were holding off on a couple that had gone missing for like 2 or 3 days due to the floods last week, and then they got found yesterday. So yeah, so there was 1 yesterday available, gone today, and now we found 2 more, but that's literally it. So if you're far, we might just, one person orders it, we might just cut it off just in case something happens in transit. We always have a backup for you.
But if someone really loved the lineup and said, you know what, I know that the second, I would like 1 more bottle of all of this. Yeah, feel free to order the last 2. If not, Mira and I are gonna enjoy these bottles over the years and keep geeking out and sending you guys posts and social media. Say, hey, here you go. This wine doesn't exist anymore, but we had another one. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So tomorrow you're saying, please chill the wine. You're saying smoked salmon on cucumber rounds could be a good pairing. And you're saying we're going to meet someone very, very special. And I think I know who you mean. And that is someone very, very special. So I can't wait. It'll be awesome.
Absolutely. Mira, can I request your beret a little bit more often with the scarf?
Yes. Oh, so Lisa's interested in that 2007 white. Isn't that phenomenal?
So we can include that in the link too. I think Suzanne
does in like 3 more years. Like, see if it dies or like if it'll keep going and be like a 22-year-old Canadian white. It's crazy. So what we're going to do with that, for those of you that want to get them, yeah, we encourage 3 or 6. That's great, but it's not really limited that way. We're just going to have a list of the wines. I'll keep adding to them as we reveal them. And then we will ship them all out in January. So you can kind of build a case. And if you get to 6 bottles and you're a VIP Unlimited member, you don't have to pay for shipping. If you get to, let's say, 12 for everyone else, then you don't have to pay for shipping. Otherwise, it'll be like a flat rate shipping. So you can kind of build a case, like 3 of these, couple of those, 1 of those. Yeah, 59, it is a good deal. That 2007 white, I agree. They could have jacked that up just for the novelty of it, but they didn't, so that's good.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yeah, you can totally do a road trip, and we'll have some nice wine and some stew or something. Yes, that'll be fun. Good to see you guys. Well, have a fabulous night. We will be back on tomorrow, same time.
Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, Mira Boucher. See you tomorrow.
Cheers.